Hello, how are you? I hope you're good. Today I am here with probably a very short video because guess what? Your girl's only read one book in May, which is fine. May has been a hell of a month and I am actually so bloody happy it's over. Could not be more done with May. Bye-bye. I have read some like bits of other books. I'm gonna walk you through those as well, and I'm also gonna let you know which vote won from, you know, remember when I did like the box decides my TBR type of video, and I will also let you know which books from my UNHAUL challenge, the read first chapter and then you trash my TBR combination of a video. I'll let you know which ones I've kept because you guys have told me to, and also there's one show that I really highly want to recommend to you guys. So without further ado, let's get into it. The book that I actually have finished in the month of May was Nocturna. This was a book that I was really excited about and I have very mixed feelings about. So I actually have read this for, well, technically for work, but it's like more of a outside of work hours kind of for work. But this was a book that I hosted a read-along for. Obviously I focused on the positive things to not to like poop the party for everyone, but I have definitely had my issues with this. But this is basically about this prince who loses his brother and is now next in line to be a king, but he also wants to figure out what happened to his brother because the death is not like a very usual one. And another character, a thief that has an ability to change her appearance at will, because this world has magic called propio, and the propio can vary for very different abilities, but hers is that, and the guy's is that he can travel between places by sort of like creating a door. And they also have like these cool shadows that I really enjoyed, like just shadows moving at their feet. They don't really do anything, but they just move about. And he also can see, and the guy can also see the colors of other people's propios and then sometimes match them to like do stuff. And I have heard people say that before, that this is very similar to A Dark Shade of Magic. And at first I was like, yeah, but no one's original anymore. Like, it's not like V. Schwab was the first one to come up with that idea either. Like, it's like parts of a lot of different inspiration bits. But after finishing it, I do see a lot of similarities, like a lot. So I do not know how I feel about it, because on one hand, I really think no one is original, even if they have not been aware of other works that are similar. It's impossible to be original at this age and time, I think. So who am I to like gatekeep the ideas? But there are a lot of similarities, but I feel like this is basically Dark Shade of Magic plus Jessica Jones, because the relationship the girl has with her stepfather is basically the relationship Jessica Jones has with Kilgrave, which I really enjoyed, by the way. It's a very interesting part. And this is also set in Latinx world. So I feel like if you enjoyed those two, you might really enjoy this one. Also, the thief girl in this book, for me personally, is a massive improvement to Lila Bard, so you know. Yeah. Now, I gave this 3 stars. It was like a middle of 3 stars with my CallPile rating system. I just wanted to enjoy it much more because it obviously deals with like dark magic, and I was really excited about it. But as I mentioned, I think what really confused me though, as I mentioned, I have crap month. Like, there's no way to put it. I just had a really crappy month. Half of the month I had a migraine that I just really pushed through to like survive and work and stuff. And I think because this sort of worked as a required reading after my work hours, because it just so happened that work was very busy, so I had to read this instead of reading anything else, and it sort of made it feel like a required reading. And I wonder, because I had to push and read when I didn't necessarily feel like reading and I was not feeling well physically and mentally, I'm wondering if it's that why I didn't enjoy it as much. It's not like I didn't enjoy it. I understood that it's not bad per se when I was reading it, but I was legitimately just not wanting to pick it up so badly, but having to. Do you see what I mean? So I don't know if it's me, or if it's the time, or if it's the book. But the book, I feel, still had to be like not like top notch for me to feel all of these things, because I feel a good book will push through all of that. But I'm just very confused. If you read this book, let me know. But yeah. And if you do like A Darker Shade of Magic and Jessica Jones, you might really enjoy this, especially because it is set in Latinx world. And there's this particular character, Xiomara, whose arc was done so well, and it's so sad overall. I really enjoyed that part. It just really shows you how two people can be so similar in their backstories, but be unlucky enough in the people that surround them that their stories deviate so much. I really, really appreciated that. That's Nocturna. The book is also gorgeous. So it definitely wasn't bad, but it's definitely nowhere near close to 4 stars for me personally. So it's confusing times overall here. Okay, the next thing that I have read was, I think in May I read like 70 pages of this, and I'm continuing, but I am actually okay at reading this slowly because it's like, I don't know what happened to this jacket. I took it off and I think Kat stepped on it, so it's all messed up now. But that is the brief questions to the big answers. What? The brief answers to the big questions by Stephen Hawking. This is published after his passing, and it's just his thoughts on big questions like, is there a God? Is there other life in the universe? What else is there, Way? How did it all begin? Can we predict the future? What is inside a black hole? All of those kind of cool things. I have really been enjoying this. I read it super slowly because sometimes I read something, I'll read it out loud to Logan, and then we will continue having like an hour discussion that will lead places, and I'm very happy about it. So this might take me a while. It can get a little bit dense, but it's very approachable, I think. Been reading that, really enjoy it. I don't know if I even finished that in June. Who knows? I don't know at this point. I just don't know. I read 1 book this month. 1 book. I'm mainly just memeing. I'm not actually upset at myself whatsoever. You don't have to read every month, and you don't have to read a lot every month, and not everyone's capable. And if you needed a reminder, here it is. And then I also read a little bit, like 50 pages or something, of the book that has won that vote from the boxes decide my TBR, but actually it's that you guys decide what book I read from the item of the fandom in the box. Was that even a sentence? I don't know. But that book is God's Grave, which is the second one of Nevernight, and I've been really enjoying it. I think I am reading it in a very correct time for me, because I don't think I could have gone back into it straight after Nevernight. This is one of Logan's favorite series of all time, so I'm very excited. I love the language used, like there's a lot of cursing, and I like that a lot. I'm swapping between audio and physical, though in audiobook the footnotes are skipped. And if you know the footnotes in this series, there was 1 page, let me show you. There's 1 page that the footnote is this bit. This bit is the text. This bit is the footnote. Yeah. I am kind of not remembering everything from Nevernight, which is kind of annoying. I feel like I'm missing some important details, so I might rewatch our live stream of like a couple of years ago, a year ago, something ago. But it's basically about a girl who is just consumed by vengeance for her family, and she goes into that kind of assassin school in the last book, which I really enjoyed. And yeah, there's a lot of death, a lot of shadowy things. She has a shadow familiar that grants her type of kind of magic, and it's a very kick-assery book. This is an adult book. I know it really often is bumped together with YA. I don't know, it just swims in those circles, maybe because the author wrote Illuminate with Amy Kaufman, but it definitely isn't. This is an adult book. There's sex, there's cursing, there's a lot of killing going on. But it's good. It's good. I like the humor in it. And that is everything for what I'm reading. But I do have 1 book for sure that I need to read in the month of June, and that is Dread Nation, which is our read, rate, review book club book choice. But this is the book that we're reading, and the live stream is on the 6th of July. So I will hopefully be reading this in June. And Dread Nation, I don't know much about it. It's by Justina Ireland, but what I do know is that it features zombies. That's all I know, which is scary because zombies are not my cup of tea. But we'll see, maybe it'll surprise me. And now let me get the pile of books that I am keeping. I'm gonna link the video if you have not seen it. I read the first chapter of 23 books that I was considering unhauling. I kept some, I unhauled some, and the ones in the middle that were maybes I asked your opinion on. And I've read every single comment, as I always do. So I'm not gonna mention the books that I was already keeping and like nothing changed, but I'll mention the ones from the maybes. And I actually took one book out of my definite unhaul pile because of how many of you guys have told me to keep it. So the one that I am keeping is the memory book, because some of you guys said that this will possibly surprise me. I'm not gonna speak about what the books are about because I feel like I've already done that, but I just wanted to let you know. I'm also keeping Spectacle. The Light Between Worlds had like different opinions. I didn't know that many people actually have read it, but like a lot of you guys have. A lot of you have also given me a lot of trigger warnings for this one in particular, because apparently it's very depressive. It's quite heavy read. There are some people who said that they did not enjoy this at all, and it was just too heavy hitting. So I will definitely keep that in mind, but there was enough of you to tell me to keep it because it's very impactful. So I will keep this, but only read it when I feel I'm comfortable with reading something like that. A Shiver of Snow and Sky is also staying because of you guys. I kind of didn't listen to your advice. I mean, some of you guys did tell me to keep this and that you loved it. A lot of you guys though said that this was a disappointing book at the end, and also the series goes downhill, but I can't help it. Well, this one was actually already in my keep pile, but I wanted to address it. I'm still gonna keep The Becoming of Mara Dyer just because I really want to read it after the first chapter that I have read it, but I will lower my expectations because a lot of you guys said that it was disappointing at the end. So I will keep it in mind, and if I don't enjoy it for the first like 50-60 pages, I will just DNF it freely, knowing that you guys have warned me. But in the rare case scenario that I will enjoy it, I'm gonna keep it. I'm also keeping Bring Me Their Hearts. Some of you said that this is nothing too special, but a lot of you guys said that it was a really lighthearted read, and I really fancy having one of those on my shelves for when I need one, you know? And lastly, I am going to keep the book that I was originally in my unhaul pile, but so many of you guys said that I should give it another go. A lot of you guys obviously were understanding that it might not be my cup of tea, but you're kind of upset that I have unhauled it because it's one of your all-time favorite books. And you know what? You convinced me to give it another go, because obviously I only read the first chapter, and there's just so much you can get from that, and it can be misleading. So I'm gonna give it another go, and that one is Ace of Shades. So I hope you guys are happy that I kept it. I might try and read it maybe in nudes that are gonna be in August, but welcome back, baby. And that concludes that, and the only thing left on my today's agenda is the show that I've been watching. I'm sure I've watched other stuff, but I did not write it down. Oh yeah, wait, I watched Pikachu. I was not lucky enough to grow up with Pikachu games or shows because no one told me that exists when I was a kid. And like, as a kid, how am I gonna learn it if no one tells me about it? So I'm very sad, because I feel like that would have been something that I would have obsessed about. It was fun, you know, like it's like a very, very family-friendly Deadpool kind of thing, you know, and I'm all for that. And there's so many cute Pokemons there. But then the show that I really, really wanted to talk about very briefly, because I just want to recommend it to you. So the first season we have watched ages ago, and then for some reason we just didn't continue, but there's a second and third season out now, and we completely got consumed with it. Thank God I had this show this month. I don't know how I would have survived without it, but that is The Expanse. Now it moved from Netflix to Amazon Prime, so if you do not have Amazon Prime, that might suck a little bit, but the Amazon Prime got the show to them. And oh my god, it's one of the best sci-fis ever. I remember loving the first season, but I feel like it just gets better and better and better. I'm not gonna even talk about what it is. It's a sci-fi. It's beautiful. Acting for the most part is great. Writing for the most part is great. But overall, I just really love it. It's complex. It has like, the plotting is just like, I love it a lot. I hope you guys check it out, and I hope you guys like it as well. I suppose I never really touched upon like Game of Thrones and stuff, so obviously without any spoilers, I watched Game of Thrones as always, which visually and cinematographically is beautiful, it's stunning, the visual effects are absolutely insane. This whole series has done such a big job of opening the door for high fantasy shows like this. The first 7 seasons were great. I am just not happy with the 8th one, and I really don't want to be that person on the internet, so I'm not gonna go into detail, but I just don't know what the writers were thinking with this one. Yeah. The second episode was great. That's about it. Moving on to another disappointing thing. The show that was becoming one of my absolute favorite, American Gods. The second season, especially like the second half of the second season, is like, what the hell? Like the last episode that we watched of the second season, if I didn't Google and accidentally come across the fact that that was the last episode, I wouldn't have known. I seem like it just lost the plot entirely. It just goes in circles, so I'm so sad because again, it was one of my favorite shows. So thankfully Expanse came to the rescue because I watched that after I watched these two. So thankfully that just saved the day for me. But I think that's about everything. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down below if you have read anything great in the month of May, and also especially if you watched any great shows, because I'm on a hunt for a new one now. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Stay awesome, stay kind, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!